Hello everybody, this is Joey Blight. Today I'm doing a review on the new game coming out called Nioh? Nioh? Nya? I don't know. Hardly anyone can say the name, so we'll just call it Nioh. This game is going to feel really familiar to anyone that's played Dark Souls, Demon Souls. It's almost exactly like that, but set in a Japanese historical time, back with spirits, all those awesome weapons, so katanas. Also, along with those classic fantasy roles like rogue and everything, they introduce a way to have like ninja. You can be kind of like a priest guy with some magic abilities. You can focus on archery. You can focus on spear, katana, dual katana, and so on. So the things that makes it different than Dark Souls is, in addition to like having the campfire kind of mechanic, you can actually find collectible little minion guys that you can do an offering to, and they'll give you a bonus for that. The fighting mechanics are a little different. You might have noticed a little symbol down in the bottom right. You can change your stance between high, medium, and low, and depending on your stance, your attacks are going to change completely. The high stance is usually a little more stronger. Low stance has more blocking capability, and middle stance is kind of like just right in the middle of the road. Certain weapons play really well depending on what stance you're in. I found later the chain and sickle was really good in high stance, and it was pretty good in medium stance. Whereas the normal katana, I hated using it in high stance and I hated using it in low stance. The game also has a mechanic where you gain familiarity with a weapon. If it's a purple grade weapon, you can gain more familiarity with it, which it essentially is adding on stacks to that weapon. So each time you hit a tier, it makes it like that plus one. So your goal is to get the purple, and I guess there's something stronger than a purple weapon. Stamina, which is actually called ki in this game, is way more important than it was in Dark Souls. As you attack, you're going to lose some of that ki, and if you run out and you get hit, you actually get staggered for a bit, and the enemy has a couple seconds to launch a massive counterattack. At the same time, if you successfully tap the R1 button while the gauge will refill, you can press it almost any time, but if you hit it at the maximum point, you gain about 90% of your used ki back, and it can lead to some pretty awesome chains. Rather than being completely open like Dark Souls, though, the game looks like it's kind of segmented into smaller maps, but the maps did feel pretty big. The one map I got to play took about 3 hours to beat, and once I was successfully strong enough to like go around killing everything without dying, I realized how small it was, but they make so many different paths and options that it makes the map feel really large. The PvP mechanics were really cool. I'm not sure if you can get invaded like Dark Souls, but you can summon someone very similar to that. There's another mode where you can do a mission, and you guys start the mission together, and you can die about 3 or 4 times before the mission's a failure. Our online mission was the same map, but a lot harder enemies, and I wasn't leveled up for it, so my teammate was doing most of the work. But I was doing some damage, especially that stamina damage. And you might notice these little red pyres. Those are all fallen people that have been defeated by someone or something, and it'll say how they died, and it'll show their weapon and the color of their armor and what level they are, and you have a chance to fight them, and there's a chance of their loot actually dropping for you. So it's really cool if you find a higher level person or someone that has that awesome weapon. There's a chance you could get their weapon. I felt like the weapon balance was pretty good. I definitely found my 2 favorite weapons to be the axe and the sickle and chain. The dual katanas, even though they may sound cool, are probably the weakest though. And the ninja skills are kind of cool. I only used them in the boss fight because the normal monsters are somewhat easy to take down. I wish I had some more time to explore and look at all the different skill trees, but sadly it was a timed demo and at the stroke of midnight everyone was kicked off from the game. So I did get to complete the first mission. I really haven't seen much about this game being advertised or in the media at all. I barely was able to get into the demo because I saw someone on my friends list recently played it. I'm like, what is that? So I was able to look it up and find out about this demo. But it looks like a really good game. It was really fun to play. I'm really excited to play the full game, and it definitely feels really polished and ready to be released. So this is Joy of Light. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you in a game sometime. Maybe we can buddy up and play a game of Nioh together.